The city of Bakhmut in eastern Donbas has long been the focus of Ukrainian and Russian military efforts, destroying the city and largely emptying it of its inhabitants. Ukraine has committed to keeping the Russian army and Wagner group mercenary fighters there, despite heavy losses on both sides. Russia's Wagner group has claimed legitimate control over Ukraine's Bakhmut, but Kyiv says its troops still control the eastern city, describing the fighting there as very hot. Brutal hand-to-hand combat in Bakhmut itself and trench warfare in the surrounding countryside have resulted in horrific attrition rates, with both sides losing thousands of troops. In recent weeks, increased Russian pressure has now shifted to the town of Avdiivka. Recently, footage shows airborne assault troops of the Ukrainian Armed Forces destroying a Russian invader tank. The video shows the anti-tank gunner of the 81st OAMBr destroying an enemy tank using the Javelin anti-tank missile system. In the first part of the video, we see how the Ukrainian defender in a classic seated position on a hill fires the Javelin from his shoulder. Then there is an open shot taken by the unmanned aerial vehicle and a direct hit on the tank and its arson. Obviously, UAV and ATGM operators work together. Ukrainian troops also destroyed a truck with ammunition belonging to the Russian occupiers. The video was recorded by an unmanned aerial vehicle, whose operator found the target and corrected the accurate gunfire. People's Deputy of Ukraine, frontline volunteer and blogger Yuri Mesyagin, announced this on his page on the social network Twitter. Over the past few days, Ukrainian forces have also carried out 10 raids on concentration points of the Russian occupiers' manpower and military equipment. Meanwhile, Yevgeny Prigozhin, head of Wagner's paramilitary force, said Monday that his troops, involved in months-long efforts to encircle and capture the bombed city, had raised the Russian flag on its administrative building. From a legal standpoint, Bakhmut has been taken. The enemy is concentrated in the Western Front, Prigozhin said in an audio message posted on his press service's Telegram account. By contrast, Ukraine said Russian troops were a very long way from capturing the eastern city of Bakhmut, and that fighting was raging around the city's administration building where Wagner's mercenary group claims to have raised the Russian flag. Bakhmut is Ukrainian, and they haven't caught anything, and are very far from doing that, said Serhiy Cherevity, a spokesman for the Eastern Military Command. A video has emerged showing a Ukrainian drone strike destroying Russia's prized Tor M2 missile system. The video, which was shared by the Ukrainian military on Facebook on Tuesday, shows the drone aiming at the target before striking and causing it to explode. The military said it used a drone that exploded in the attack, which left smoke billowing from the damaged vehicle. It is not clear where the video was taken. Russia's Tor M2 is an all-weather, short-range surface-to-air missile system designed to destroy aircraft, missiles, drones, and other air targets. Russia has deployed several systems in its invasion of Ukraine. Reports have surfaced of weapons being destroyed or abandoned. The Ukrainian military has described an effective weapon its fighters have used to fend off drone attacks from Russian troops. The Ukrainian army used a large-caliber machine gun to shoot down the slow-moving, low-flying Shade drone, said Lieutenant General Serhiy Nayev of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Command in a statement posted to Facebook. Iranian-made Shad 131 and 136 drones have become a common sight across Ukraine since the start of the full-scale war in February 2022. The unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, are operated by Russia. On April 1, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said it had shot down 6 Russian-launched Shade 136 drones. The previous day, the General Staff said Russia had launched 10 Shade 136 UAVs in Ukraine, 9 of which were intercepted. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported on April 3 that Russia had lost 160 soldiers in Ukraine since the start of the full-scale invasion on February 24 last year. This number includes the 610 casualties suffered by Russian forces over the past few days. Andriy Yermak, a top advisor to President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, on Monday rejected suggestions that Bakhmut had fallen. Not even close to reality, he wrote on Twitter. Ukrainian authorities have declared Bakhmut off-limits to journalists, and it is impossible to independently confirm reports by both sides about the fighting. The battle for Bakhmut, which began last summer, has been one of Russia's longest offensives since its full-scale invasion of Ukraine more than a year ago. Wagner fighters initially spearheaded the battle. As the fighting has intensified in recent months, Russia has thrown thousands of men from its and Wagner's armed forces into hard, often block-by-block battles that have resulted in heavy casualties on both sides. While Bakhmut's strategic importance has been debated, the battle for the city has become a great symbolism. While both sides suffered heavy losses, military experts and Ukrainian authorities say that Russian casualties were much higher and had weakened Moscow's ability to mount a broader offensive in the east. Russian troops have steadily advanced on the city in recent weeks, and at one point it appeared that the Ukrainians might be preparing to withdraw. But Mr. Zelensky vowed not to give up Bakhmut, and senior Ukrainian generals have since said the situation in the city could be stabilized. In the Kherson region, the Ukrainian Defense Forces destroyed a field supply point for Russian invaders in the Kharkov district and an enemy observation point on one of the islands. As a result of the firing mission, the Ukrainian missile and artillery unit also destroyed 2 artillery installations and 4 armored vehicles of the Russian troops. The Russian military does not stop terrorizing the population of the liberated territories on the right bank of the Dnieper. At the same time, the occupiers continue to pressure the dispossessed left bank residents from passport coercion to shelling of residential areas for propaganda plots against the defense forces. Over the past day, Russia has conducted 20 shelling of settlements in the Kherson region and also attacked the water area of the Dnipro-Buska estuary. Several private and multi-apartment buildings and commercial buildings were damaged by enemy fire. 1 person died as a result of the shooting that night.